Hello and welcome to this brief presentation that I'm going to give today. Um, it is focused on in-house lawyers and particularly in-house lawyers who are feeling very frustrated, overwhelmed, and just not happy in their career. And in this session, in this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about the one thing that in-house lawyers are doing wrong that is actually preventing them from leadership and also feeling fulfilled in their career. So, welcome to this very first live session that I am promoting here on LinkedIn and on Netflix. Sorry, not Netflix, on YouTube. And on this session, what we're going to look at, as I say, is the number one thing that in-house lawyers are doing that's actually preventing them from feeling valued, feeling that they're able to get to leadership, and also to feel fulfilled in their career. As I say, this video is for you, a live stream is for you. If you are an in-house lawyer and you are feeling frustrated with regards to your job. Hi, Yasmin. How are you doing? Yes, this is for in-house lawyers. We do not get the platform that we need. We need to specifically talk about in-house lawyers right now because of the whole Rick's case and the whole post office case that is out there at the moment, shining a light on what the in-house lawyer's role is and what it should be. And the whole industry is in a little bit of disarray on what this means for in-house lawyers. I'm going to give you a little bit of clarity today on this. So what is the number one thing that you think that in-house lawyers are doing that's actually preventing them from being an impactful lawyer, to feel confident in the role, to feel that they can push back effectively and also add value at the same time? Well, I'm going to share with you this big issue that I found whenever I was practicing as an in-house lawyer, and what I've seen as a massive theme across all the in-house lawyers that I have been supporting through the in-house lawyers leadership program. It is one thing that you might be very surprised about, and it is the very thing that got the in-house lawyers having a light shine upon them in the post office case and in the Rick's case. So what is this number one thing? Let me ask you a couple of questions first. How often do you start in a new job as an in-house lawyer, or even anybody out there in any role that thinks, oh, I am going to go in and I am going to understand what they need from me, and I'm just going to give them what they need, and then I'll be happy in my job? Hands up if you're listening, if you have said that to yourself when you're starting a job. Hands up in the first 3 months, you're loving it because people are loving what you're doing, and that you may be feeling that you're doing a lot and delivering a lot. But then after 3, 4, 5 months, things start to shift and change. Maybe it might take longer. Maybe after a year, things might shift and change, where you start to feel undervalued, overwhelmed with all of the work. You feel that the in-house team maybe isn't even joined up. You feel that the stakeholders technically don't give a shit about how much work that you have been doing and delivering, and that they don't care that you've been working really, really long hours, that you've given up your Friday night, for those of you who are single, to go out and enjoy yourself, go out and have a drink, go out maybe even to the gym. For goodness sake, we might want to have a life. Hands up to the in-house lawyers out there that have got kids, that have come home in their head thinking, oh, kids, food, homework, bath, bed, work. Anybody else feel like that? Well, these are the common themes that are coming up for the people that I've been working with in the in-house lawyers leadership program. And it if this is you, you are not on your own. It is an epidemic in our industry. And the reason why this is happening is because of a mindset thing that you have whenever you are going into your job. This mindset of, I'm going to wait to see what they want, and then I'm going to give them what they want. Hands up, how many of you would go into any relationship saying, oh, I'll just wait to see what they want and whether they like me, and I'll just do what they want in the relationship, and that means that I'm going to be really, really happy. And hands up who thinks that anybody does that is probably not entering into a healthy relationship. Well, if you're thinking that whenever you're well, I just got kicked out, so I'm coming back in. Thank you for those of you who have stuck around. So I don't know what's happened, but I got kicked out of my live session. It is my very first one, so apologies for anybody who's been listening. For anybody that's new, today I am talking to you about the number one thing that in-house lawyers are doing wrong that's causing them to feel that they're unable to get to leadership, causing them to feel frustrated in their job, causing them to feel overwhelmed. Hi, Belinda. And also leading to really them feeling not fulfilled in their job. When I left off and I could come back, I was talking to you about the number one thing. And that number one thing is simply this, that you are not entering into the relationship with your employer, client, stakeholders with the right mindset. I see far too many in-house lawyers go into a role feeling that they're just going to go into the role to find out what needs to be done, and they're going to fulfill that. And as I said before, I got cut off. That if you do that in any relationship, you're going to end up having a dominant, subservient relationship where you're trying to satisfy one party. And when it'll lead to you listening out to validation from them. Therefore, not forgetting your own validation and what it is in you that you want to satisfy in you to validate yourself. Because once we go towards other people externally, to your stakeholders to give you great feedback for you to feel good in your job, you know that you're in this relationship and it's not healthy. Because what that does then, if you don't hear what you want to hear from them, you're going to feel unfulfilled in your role. And the truth is here, you're giving your power away to your stakeholders and to your clients. And particularly for in-house lawyers, this is a concern. Because if we look at the recent cases on the post office and the Ricks case, the in-house legal team has had a big light shone upon them. And the reason is that the relationship between the in-house legal function and the remainder of the business wasn't the right relationship, where the legal function had a little bit of control and were a little bit leading in a way to push the board and the stakeholders away from what they were doing. If you are in a mindset that you're going to serve them to achieve their goals, this is problematic. So you're probably asking, well, Donna, what is the right way? If that's not the right way, what is the right way? Because I've been doing this for years, and I'm going to be honest, I done it as well. Whenever I was a junior in-house lawyer, I done it as well, because I just thought, everybody goes into their job trying to just do their job, please everybody around them, and just come home and feel like you've done a good job. But that, again, as I say, is going to impact how you feel within yourself, because you're seeking your value from other people, which is definitely going to lead to you feeling unfulfilled in your career, because we cannot control what other people say and think, or their view of what an in-house legal team is. Half the time I work with people who seek validation from their stakeholders, and then the stakeholders will say, oh, you're doing a brilliant job, but something inside's not right, because they know that they can do more. So they're actually stuck in someone else's interpretation of what they could achieve as an in-house lawyer. They're probably stuck in that service mindset, because these people over here, as in the commercial team, the procurement team, the sales team, are thinking, aren't they just great? They're doing all the work that we want them to do, and they are taking a lot of pressure out of us. Sorry, I just went really Irish there. But the key thing here is that kind of relationship also leads to you compensating and overcompensating for ineffective people and lazy people within the other parts of the business. It isn't going to serve your career, and it isn't going to serve the business. Because if you were doing things that they should be doing, then that's taking you away from doing the things that you can do to create a bigger impact. So the people I work with in the In-House Lawyers Leadership Program overcome this all the time. There is good news here, and I'm going to share with you how they do it. So number one, before they go into a job, they sit down with me and go through their value proposition. Now, a value proposition is a tool that I use in the In-House Lawyers Leadership Program to help people understand what they want, to understand what they're brilliant at, and to understand where they want to get to next in their career, and to understand the next steps that you want to be taken to be fulfilled in your career. I recently have worked with a lady called Patty, and she done this piece of work. So before she went into her job, she was really clear on what she wanted to achieve in her role, not waiting to be told what she should be doing. She set out and thought about the purpose of her role and how that would add real value to the business from a risk perspective, from a customer service perspective, from a growth perspective, and a costing perspective as well. We went through that together. So I think you should start doing that as well. Because once she understood the real impact of the skills that she had, she started to think bigger about what she could do. Once she had that real clarity in her head, she became more purposeful. Then what I helped her to do in the value proposition was to position that early before she started her job with her new boss. I helped her position how she was going to have conversations with stakeholders in week one. to talk about what she believed her role was and how that could help the wider business. Now, she came in, that was her mindset. That was her mindset. So that's the one thing that you need to get right before you start your new job. Or even if you're in role, you can still do this. I've worked with many people who have felt uncomfortable in their current job, and they feel really, really stuck and they want to leave. I would really encourage anyone who wants to leave their job to do the value proposition, because half the time the reason why you want to leave is because you don't have certain skills to understand what it is that you want, how to then articulate that to your peers and your boss and your stakeholders, and then to understand what you need to be doing in your job to help you get there. Because there's so many undiscovered little opportunities that you will have around you. Because if you're stuck in this mindset of, I'm just working really long hours and nobody cares about me, and I feel stuck and I'm moving away. Because I tell you what, if you're moving away from your inability to deal with that. And it's going to happen again in your new job. So, hi Belinda, how are you doing? I'm just going to read out what you said. Quite right. Our goals enable the business ought to be driven. Yes, yeah, paralegal vision impact. Yeah, and that Belinda, you've made a really, really good point there. So Belinda's mentioned about understand the legal vision to impact the organization. Some people I've worked with have gone in to an organization or in an organization where that vision isn't really, really clear. And it's moved me into helping the legal function to get real clarity on what that role is. So again, it's hitting that mindset of, who are we as a legal function? What is our identity? And what does it mean for us right now in this market, given that there's a big question mark over the role of an in-house lawyer. I'm going to tell you now that the role of the in-house lawyer has always been the same. But it has taken these cases to draw out how your employer and the board can really prevent in-house legal teams from discharging their obligations. This is, I'm speaking specifically to the in-house lawyers and solicitors who are qualified in England and Wales. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you've got a comment, let us know. Pop it into the chat and I can come back to you. If you are on YouTube, I can come back to you and we can have a conversation. I'm going to put a link into the other podcasts as well. But if you're getting value out of this, hit that. And you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, because you're going to get more and more tidbits and more help on this. Belinda, thank you. Value proposition, yes, plus having advocates and sponsors who enable us to achieve that value proposition. Exactly. So that's why, and Belinda has just, thanks Belinda, I feel like you're my sister here today. And this is my first time doing this, and it's really nice to have someone on here chatting with me. So absolutely, Belinda, you sounds like you know this as well. I think one of the big challenges that a lot of people have, let me know what you think, is that they go in and they just feel like they have to deliver and have outputs and outcomes for the business. But again, if they're not aligned to yours and if they're not aligned to the legal functions, then the two are going to kind of like never the twain will meet, and that's where a clash in values and a clash in vision will have tension. Yes, there will be tension anyway, because it's natural for an in-house legal team to have tension with sales, commercial, etc., because you're trying to achieve different things, but that tension needs to be healthy. And if it gets really unhealthy by having completely different visions and purpose, then that's whenever you get into problems. So part of the thing that I do with in-house legal teams is to help them get that vision and learn how to communicate that effectively with the business, so the business buy into it. And again, part of that is talking both ways with stakeholders, with peers, with the team, and pushing that outwards. So there you have it. I'm not going to rumble on anymore. So, just to wrap that up, the big reason why in-house lawyers and why you might be feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, feel like you're not given value in your organization, feel like you can't get to leadership and you really want it, but you just don't know how. The number one thing that you need to do is possibly change your mindset. Because remember this, your stakeholders aren't your clients. The business is your clients. You also have a duty to the court and to the public. So remember the consumers as well. So we have to sit and be objective in our roles. And if we're sitting in a service-based mindset, it's very hard to retain that objectivity. It is a difficult dance to have. This is why I set up the In-House Lawyers Leadership Program to help you if you're having this challenge. If you are, just drop me a comment and I will send you a link so we can have a chat. I offer out discovery calls. If you want to have your value proposition done to help you retain you in the world, in the environment with high demands on you, again, drop me a message and I will drop you a link. I'll put the link in anyway if you want to remain anonymous. So I am going to bow out. Again, if you are on LinkedIn and want to have more of these videos and hear more about what you can do to turn your career around, go onto my profile, Donna Grote McGrath, the In-House Lawyers Leadership Coach, and hit my bell. I wish I had a little thing up here to hit my bell to show you where it is, but hit my bell and you will get notification. And if you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and you will get more. Like and comment. And I am going to bid you adieu. Have a great Tuesday. Remember, you are not on your own. We're in this together. Thank you and goodbye.